Did you watch the Spotify miniseries
Yeah, I got episode left.
episode? Oh, so
Uh,
you're ahead of me. I'm on episode 4.
yeah,
What'd
I
you
got
think?
episode left. I thought it was pretty interesting. I think to see how the music industry was sitting there still looking at some of these platforms is like, no, we're trying to take y'all down. Like instead of trying to figure out a way to work with them. Um, Crazy. I think when the dude, I don't know if you got to this part yet, but when the dude had the realization that Spotify was like a just a digital jukebox.
Jukebox.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I thought
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
kinda crazy, and even, like, watching everybody be so like, "Whoa," like, you can just pull up music in 2 seconds. It shows how privileged we are at this moment because, like, they was looking up normal songs that, like, I go now Spotify, this whole point 2 seconds thing, like, you can find everything quick as hell, like, you get every song you ever wanted, and I do think it's crazy, like, the whole idea, like, that music did become damn near worthless off of this, and then they were talking about how the merch and the shows and everything, how that became the thing that people started to make money off of, so I think, yeah, that's crazy.
I agree with a lot of what you said. The digital jukebox point was like when you're trying to sell a product, that's the tagline that you need to sell it. Like
Mhm.
that. And it's so hard to come up with that because oftentimes people have great businesses, but they can't communicate it to the people that are going to give them the money to go run the business, you know? And so for him to have the realization for it to come full circle like that, um, very interesting. I also like seeing the struggle initially of them trying to shut down the sites as opposed to just get with the program where it's like the cat's out of the bag. I think it's understandable to a degree, right? Like if I'm selling a hard product for
Mhm.
$8, you know what I mean? And somebody's coming and telling me that I can give access to this product to everybody for a fraction of a percentage of revenue of ad revenue off of each listen. Initially the numbers don't really project out, you know what I'm saying? Because if it isn't adopted by the masses and it's only in a subset of people, you're just kind of giving it away at that point. um so I understand that, but as a business it makes me have a new appreciation for Spotify, realizing like their whole thing was trying to figure out how to improve the listener experience. Like it makes me look at all the features that they add to the app a little bit differently now, where it's like they're they're trying to figure out different ways to improve the experience. I also believe that there's a fundamental like there's a group of people that just fundamentally disagree with their best experience of listening to music, if that makes sense. So like they may see it as this certain thing, whereas a lot of people may not. And the example I'll give is in the series, you remember when the lawyer had the bees and she was making the playlist on
Mhm.
the bracelet or whatever? Like, one could say this is brilliant, you know what I mean? Which in a lot of ways it is, but could also say, like, you're fragmenting the art as it was supposed to be consumed, you know what I mean? Like, if Michael Jackson gives you this project, 9 songs, this is how he wants it to be listened to technically, you know what I mean? We've now moved away from that, kind of against their will. But you could look at it two ways where it's like, dang, they ruined the listening experience that they wanted, that the artist wanted. Or you could look at it as they gave people another option. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's interesting being somebody who's creative and supports artists and then also like entrepreneurial and can see how this is just genius.
Yeah. I think I wanna hear what people in the '90s would say at least about, like, mix CDs then, because I feel like that's the exact same thing as, like, the whole playlisting thing. It's like I can take artist songs and put them all on a CD. Like, I can mix different artists and make mixes for people in that way. I would see it as almost the same thing, and the other thing I wanna say is for them to, like I know Daniel Ek is bald, right? But for them to give him
Yeah.
that hair where he had that shit on top of his head, I was like, "Y'all might as well just made him
Yeah.
bald from the start."
You know what?
Like
Yeah, I went outside yesterday and I was talking to somebody about that exactly. Because my thing is, I said I want to know who produced this doc. Because if I'm Daniel Ek, I'm giving myself a full head of hair.
dude, I'm
Because who
suing
gonna
you for
say who
even
gonna say?
putting that image out of me.
But my thing is, if you've seen Daniel Ek, it's probably facts. That's probably
Yeah,
facts. Like that's probably not an exaggeration. I'm saying if I'm Daniel Ek and I produce this miniseries, I'm giving myself a full head of hair.
Oh god.
Cause what? Cause what are you gonna do? You gonna come tell me I don't got a full head of hair and I made this? I know. I'm bald now. But that he looked like that when I watched when the first episode came on. I'm like, this has to be a spoof. This has to be a
Nah,
spoof
bro, I kept
because there's
every
no way
time.
they put him in there looking like this. He built $1 billion company and we couldn't give him a hairline.
No, it was worse when like he would come on and they would have him acting all like aggressive or mean. I would be like, bro, I can't take you serious with this haircut, bro. Come on, bro.
When he
Like,
stormed out of the office, and was like, I'm going to build my own thing, it was like, nobody's running after you.
nobody cares.
Nobody's running after you.
Nobody
You know what I'm saying?
cares.
But I will say, the man is a genius.
No, yeah, for sure, for sure.
The man is a genius. Like Spotify as a business concept, like, and this was something that I just kept thinking about. He came up with an idea so good, he became a part of the music industry. If not just a part, the most important part of the music industry, which
Yeah,
is insane to think about.
yeah, because he was like the middleman between that shift of the internet and like physical. So I think he's one of the most important parts for sure. And like I even think it's funny the line when the guy from Sony took it to the Sony in the United States, and the guy was like, "Oh, this is like iTunes." Like he was getting compared to iTunes that early, and then damn near took over the business. So yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Lucian Grange, man's like the wizard. Like he's like the man pulling all the strings behind the because my thing is, bro came in and was like, "I think this is a great idea. We should do it." I'm like, this makes so much sense that he was the guy that did that. I didn't understand. I didn't understand beforehand. I didn't know that. Uh, but that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. A lot of this. I've been doing research on the history of the company that I work at, and bro, a lot of business at a certain point, once you get to a certain size, it's literally just conversations and handshakes.
Hmm. On the
It's
golf course.
conversations and handshakes.